So I'm here outside Stamford Bridge ahead of Chelsea's season opener against Manchester City, and as you can see behind me, I've quite aptly found Emma Hayes among all the legends from Chelsea Football Club. Of course, she won so many trophies with the club, and now Sonia Bompastor has come in, and in her first season she's already done the domestic treble. That is done, ticked and secured off of her list, and of course she'll now be going for that Champions League trophy. But Sonia Bompastor still remembers that they always want to win the league, and that is something Manchester City and Arsenal and multiple other opponents this campaign will be wanting to desperately take off of the Royal Blues. Of course, it's 6 consecutive WSL titles in a row. Someone will want to make the difference and win it and take it back home elsewhere. Of course, Manchester City will be hoping it returns to Manchester with their new manager, Andrea Glertz, and that is the battle tonight. We'll have to see how City line up. Of course, Andrea Glertz likes to play a back three, but that's quite a different change from a back four for Man City, so we'll have to see. But yeah, I thought it quite apt to find Emma Hayes, Sonia Bompastor doing a brilliant job since she's joined the club, and it is a massive game tonight. My prediction for this one has to be 3-1. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, I think, for Manchester City coming into their first game with a new manager, it being at the Bridge with hopefully a very strong crowd and potentially even a surprise reveal of their new signing for Chelsea, Alyssa Thompson, who potentially has broken the record. Grace Gayoro, of course, also signing for London City Lionesses on deadline day. But yeah, it's an incredible signing for them, and a very talented winger all the way from Angel City. So potentially she'll be revealed today, we're not sure. But yeah, this woman behind me, incredible, and Chelsea continuing that legacy with Bompastor. Here, and it's 1-0 to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They've been the dominant side in this first half, with Manchester City largely living on scraps. The striker Bunny Shaw's had a few chances from point-blank range, but apart from that, it mostly seems that Chelsea have been the dominant side in this one. Bompastor shouting from the touchline for her side, but she needed to give no instruction to the players when Ellie Carpenter, the lively fullback on her Blues debut, provided the cross to Agaviva Jones to tap in. She capitalised on the chance ahead of centre-back Jade Rose for Manchester City, who is on her debut for the club, and Yamashita, who made a superb save earlier in the match to deny Sandy Baltimore, could not stop this one. She was oncoming, on-rushing, but just couldn't save it in time, and it's Chelsea with a deserved lead. As I said, not many chances for Manchester City, a free kick that hit the bar from Alex Greenwood, but apart from that, as I say, Chelsea have been dominant in possession, a lot coming through Ellie Carpenter, and would like to see maybe some changes from Manchester City in that second half, although they are without Carolyn, and right now they do have Miedemar and Bunny Shaw, their 2 strikers, on the pitch, so they should really be creating more than they are. Of course, Lauren Hemp on there too, and a debut for Sydney Lohman in midfield, who hasn't really stood out to me so far this match. Key players so far, Agaviva Jones, of course, Sandy Baltimore and Ellie Carpenter. Second half up next.
Yeah, I thought we were solid. I thought we had a really good first half, and of course, City had chances. They're a top team. We're not naive enough to expect to go through a whole game playing against a team like them with, without conceding a couple of shots. But I think you just have to ride the waves. compact, we stayed solid. Annoyed to concede, but listen, it's football. We can't be perfect in all moments, but I think we deserved the win. I thought we were very dominant and created some good chances, and yeah, nice to see the ball at the back of the net.
So it's full time, it's all over here at Stamford Bridge. 2-1 Chelsea victory for Sonia Bompastor's Blues. They managed to cruise past Manchester City. There were of course chances for the side, and they did get a consolation goal, which could have proved a turning point in the tide at that point. It was a Greenwood free kick, which was an own goal in the end from Neve Charles, who was heading into the net. Her last touch took it past the Chelsea goalkeeper, Hannah Hampton. And yeah, it seemed at that point, with it being 2-1, that Manchester City may have found a route back into the match, but unfortunately they just couldn't seal it. Chances for sure throughout the match proved not enough, and Chelsea come away with all 3 points. It seems slightly ominous that with their first win of the season against a tough opponent, they've already managed to get the first win under their belt. And Millie Bright seemed to believe that they were quite dominant throughout that entire display and that they were comfortable at times. And even Andre Yaglertz had to admit his plan of having that sort of back three and trying to also press from the front didn't really work in that first half, and I think in general it didn't really. He said that it improved, but I think overall Manchester City didn't have too many chances. Of course, if the Greenwood free kick which hit the bar had gone in, and a chance for Yui Hasegawa which she flicked toward goal, a great improvisation from her, had found that corner rather than just rolling across goal, it could have been different. But I do feel like Chelsea deserved the win. It was a dominant display. They had other chances, but of course they came away with that win due to a goal from Maika Hermanu in the 70th minute. It was enough for her to latch onto the ball, and she was unmarked in the box, an error from Manchester City after Greenwood was beaten on the flank by Vika Captain. It seems she really struggled tonight, Greenwood, for both of the goals, getting beat by first Ellie Carpenter, who proved player of the match for Chelsea. What a signing she is from Lyon. And yeah, of course, it was Vika Captain, as I said, who provided the assist and got the better of Greenwood for the goal from Hermano to seal it 2-1. And there we go, Manchester City have suffered defeat in their first game under Andre Yaglertz, but it will take time, and he said he was very pleased with some of the performances from his side.